There's something quietly beautiful about watching a young person stand at the edge of a new chapter, especially when that chapter is filled with both uncertainty and hope. The film about Shizukawa begins in exactly this space, a moment suspended between what she has already lived and the future she's preparing to enter. And from the very first scenes, the story doesn't try to overwhelm us with drama or heavy emotions. Instead, it gently invites us into the everyday world of a student who believes, wholeheartedly, that effort is the surest path forward. Shizukawa is introduced not as a prodigy or a girl with extraordinary circumstances, but as someone remarkably relatable. She's the kind of student we've all met at some point, focused, thoughtful, and quietly determined. She carries with her a simple belief that success doesn't come from shortcuts or luck, but from consistency, the small actions repeated day after day. And while the film doesn't try to glorify hard work, it does show how meaningful it becomes when done with purpose and surrounded by support. One of the strengths of the story is how it portrays Shizukawa's family. Her parents aren't depicted as overly strict or demanding. Instead, they come across as gentle, steady presences people who genuinely want to help her navigate the academic pressures ahead. They don't push her, they accompany her. They arrange tutors not because they expect perfection, but because they want her to have every tool she needs to feel confident. Their home becomes a space that balances structure with warmth, turning learning into a shared journey instead of a lonely pursuit. It's a refreshing approach, especially for younger viewers who may feel overwhelmed by expectations in their own lives. The tutors themselves add another layer of positivity to the film. Each one brings a slightly different teaching style, and the film subtly highlights how learning is never just about textbooks or exams. It's also about discovering the methods that help a student feel seen, supported, and capable. The story takes care to show that education is not simply a race toward a goal, but a process of growth, one that becomes more meaningful, with patient mentors and patient effort. What's interesting is that the film doesn't paint Shizukawa's preparation phase as a time of suffering or extreme pressure. Instead, we see how she slowly develops her own rhythm, waking up early, reviewing material after class, taking careful notes, and learning how to manage her energy and focus. These scenes are calm, almost soothing, offering a realistic portrayal of study life that emphasizes balance rather than stress. What could have been framed as the hardest period of a student's life is presented instead as an opportunity, one that shapes Shizukawa not just academically, but emotionally. You can sense her quiet fears, her hopes, and her uncertainty about whether she's doing enough. But the film handles these feelings gently, showing that self-doubt is not a flaw, it's a natural part of growing up. And rather than dwelling on these emotions, it guides us toward how Shizukawa copes, through honest conversations with her parents, through the support of friends who study alongside her, and through the reassuring guidance of her teachers, who remind her that progress is often slow, but always worthwhile. What makes this introduction effective is how it balances realism with encouragement. It acknowledges the hard work students go through, but it also highlights the many forms of support that can make the journey less overwhelming. There's no sense of competition or pressure to outperform others. Instead, the message is clear. The real challenge is to become a better version of yourself, one small step at a time. By the time this opening section comes to a close, the viewer gains a sense that Shizukawa is not just preparing for an exam or a university entrance. She's preparing for life learning, how to carry responsibility, how to breathe through difficult days, how to trust those who care about her, and most importantly, how to believe in her own ability to grow. It's a beginning filled with warmth, sincerity, and a quiet kind of courage that resonates deeply with audiences of all ages. As the story unfolds, the film begins to shift its rhythm, showing how Shizukawa's once steady routine becomes more dynamic, more colorful, and surprisingly more exciting than she ever expected. This is the phase where her world expands. The quiet determination we saw earlier starts transforming into genuine momentum, and the film captures this change with a sense of admiration, as if reminding us that growth often begins the moment we realize we are capable of more than we thought. What stands out most during this period is Shizukawa's increasing confidence. It doesn't arrive all at once. Instead, it builds slowly, almost invisibly at first. A better score on a practice test, a moment of clarity during a tutoring session, or a small nod of approval from her teacher. Each one adds another layer to her self-belief. The film shows these moments without exaggeration, allowing viewers to feel the natural joy that comes from recognizing their own improvement. It's subtle but uplifting, and it highlights one of the film's core ideas. Progress doesn't need to be loud to be meaningful. Shizukawa starts to connect more deeply with her classmates, who are also preparing for the next stage of their lives. Instead of presenting these relationships as competitive or stressful, the film frames them as sources of encouragement. One particularly memorable sequence involves Shizukawa discovering her ideal study method. The film doesn't turn this moment into a dramatic revelation. It presents it as a quiet breakthrough, one that many viewers can relate to. After trying different approaches suggested by tutors and teachers, she finally finds a rhythm that works for her. Structured review sessions in the morning, focused practice in the afternoon, and reflective note-taking at night. The excitement here comes not from the difficulty of the tasks, but from the harmony she creates out of them. The story seems to suggest that once we find the method that fits our personality, learning becomes more rewarding. The excitement also stems from how Shizukawa starts to understand the purpose behind her efforts. She begins to imagine the life that awaits her, new friends, new experiences, a field of study she genuinely cares about. These hopeful glimpses of the future give her energy, and the film treats them as gentle motivators rather than unrealistic fantasies. Her teachers play an important role during this phase as well. They're portrayed with warmth and professionalism, offering encouragement rather than pressure. One teacher notices that Shizukawa has improved her analytical skills and provides her with a small set of advanced exercises, not to challenge her in a harsh way, but to help her see how far she has come. These moments reinforce the theme that guidance, when given with care, can become something incredibly motivating. Her parents notice this shift too. There's a likeness in how they interact with their smiles exchanged during meals, supportive conversations about her goals, and a mutual understanding that she's really beginning to grow into her own sense of direction. The film does a beautiful job portraying family not as a source of pressure, but as a foundation. Their presence becomes part of Shizukawa's energy, helping her navigate each day with steadiness and enthusiasm. And in the midst of all this growth, excitement emerges not from external events, but from within Shizukawa herself. She starts waking up with a sense of purpose, feeling more organized, more curious, and more engaged. The film portrays her joy not as dramatic triumphs, but as a series of little sparkles moments that remind viewers of the satisfaction that comes from learning something new, understanding something previously confusing, or simply realizing that today you're doing a little better than yesterday. The story maintains a gentle, positive tone. There's no need for exaggerated emotion. The excitement comes naturally from Shizukawa's increasing belief in her own capability. And by presenting this growth in such an approachable way, the film invites viewers to reflect on their own journeys, reminding us that motivation isn't something that magically appears. It's something we nurture, little by little, until it becomes strong enough to carry us forward. As Shizukawa's journey continues, the film gently guides us into the more challenging moments of her story, not with heavy conflict or emotional strain, but with the kind of quiet, realistic obstacles that every growing student faces. The drama here is subtle, grounded in everyday life, and portrayed in a way that's fully suitable for all audiences. It reminds us that the most meaningful turning points often come from the smallest, most personal struggles. As entrance exams draw nearer, her routine becomes increasingly demanding. What once felt harmonious now starts to feel slightly unbalanced. She's still committed, still determined, but there are moments when her energy dips and her confidence wavers. The film handles these scenes delicately, never framing them as failures, but as natural parts of learning. It acknowledges that even the most motivated students sometimes question whether they're doing enough. The emotional tension grows in a quiet, relatable way. Shizukawa begins to feel the weight of expectations, not because anyone is pressuring her, but because she cares deeply about her goals. She wants to make her parents proud. She wants to honor the efforts of her teachers. And she wants to prove to herself that her dedication means something. The film lets her feel this uncertainty, giving the audience a chance to see her vulnerability without exaggerating it. The tutors play a crucial role. One of them notices that Shizukawa seems distracted and gently adjusts the lesson plan. Instead of focusing solely on academic content, the tutor talks to her about managing stress, scheduling breaks, and trusting her preparation. It's a small but significant gesture, highlighting how emotional support is just as important as academic guidance. This moment becomes a turning point, not because of anything dramatic, but because it gives Shizukawa permission to breathe. Shizukawa looks around and realizes she's not alone in this experience. That realization grounds her, reminding her that difficulty is a collective journey, not an isolated burden. The film also uses the environment to express her internal challenges. Her parents sense her fatigue as well. Their approach is gentle. They don't ask demanding questions or remind her of deadlines. Instead, her mother brings her a warm drink, and her father offers a calm word of encouragement. These interactions highlight the film's emphasis on compassion. Drama doesn't need to come from conflict between characters. Sometimes it comes from the effort they make to lift each other up during tiring moments. One of the most touching scenes occurs during a mock exam. Shizukawa begins confidently, but halfway through, she encounters a set of problems that feel unfamiliar. She hesitates, doubts herself, and for a moment, her mind goes blank. The film lingers on her expression, not fearful, but uncertain. Then, slowly, she grounds herself. She breathes, rereads the questions, and methodically works through them, reminding herself of everything she's practiced. When she finishes, she doesn't feel triumphant. She feels relieved. And that quiet relief becomes one of the most human moments in the entire film. What makes this powerful is how it portrays struggle without despair. Shizukawa's challenges are real, but they are manageable. The film never suggests that difficulty is a sign of weakness. Instead, it reinforces a compassionate truth. Growth often happens in the moments when we choose to keep going, even when the road feels slightly heavier than usual. The audience feels a deeper connection to Shizukawa not because she has dramatic hardships, but because her challenges mirror the everyday battles we all face. And through her steady, sincere response to these difficulties, she reminds us that resilience isn't loud. It's quiet, consistent, and deeply human. As Shizukawa moves through the challenges of her preparation period, the film begins to illuminate the deeper lessons woven into her journey. These lessons don't arrive with dramatic revelations or grand statements. Instead, they emerge gradually, shaped by small experiences, quiet observations, and the steady encouragement of the people around her. One of the clearest lessons Shizukawa learns is the value of balance. Earlier, she pushed herself with enthusiasm, sometimes forgetting to rest or to slow down. But through the ebb and flow of her daily efforts, she discovers that progress isn't measured by constant intensity. It's measured by consistency, by finding a sustainable rhythm that allows both the mind and body to grow. At first, Shizukawa tried to shoulder everything on her own. But the film shows how her parents, teachers, friends, and tutors gently remind her that strength can come from accepting help. When a tutor slows down the lesson to explain a difficult topic, Shizukawa learns that asking questions is not a burden. When her parents offer her encouragement, she understands that leaning on loved ones is not a failure, it's a way to stay grounded. The story frames these moments with warmth, reassuring viewers that seeking guidance is not something to hide. It's something to appreciate. The film also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection. There are scenes where Shizukawa reviews her notes, not just to memorize information, but to understand her own patterns, what she's improving at, where she struggles, and how she can adjust. This subtle habit teaches her to listen to herself. And in doing so, she becomes better at recognizing what she needs. It's a reminder that growth isn't only about external results. It's equally about understanding her internal landscape. She understands then that effort is not just a means to an end. It is a form of self-respect, a way of honoring her potential. This quiet epiphany becomes one of the film's core messages. Meaningful growth is built on small steps, repeated with sincerity. Finally, the film highlights the lesson of purpose. Shizukawa doesn't study simply to pass an exam. She works toward a future she believes in. Her vision of university life, learning new subjects, meeting new people, experiencing a broader world becomes a guiding light. This sense of purpose gives meaning to her efforts and helps her navigate the harder days. The film invites viewers to reflect on their own reasons for pursuing goals, reminding us that purpose doesn't need to be dramatic. It can be simple, personal, and deeply motivating. the film transformed Shizukawa's academic preparation into a rich exploration of mindset, support, and emotional growth. Her journey is not just about studying. It's about learning how to take care of herself, connect with others, and move forward with clarity and courage.